So I'm so proud of you, Julia. You did awesome.
I love it. Yeah, they say the first one is the hardest. If you can get through the crazy stuff the first time, tell you what, the other ones get easier. Seriously. Go fight Goliath first, and all the other guys, they're easy to beat. Because Goliath was your hardest one, right? I love it.
And then years in, you could have another one. I just had my hardest, I swear.
Yeah, don't say that yet, Shireen. We want to keep that secret.
Okay. But it's just, you know how to deal with it. You just say, okay, I can fire you right now. You can go. The door right there. Go.
There it
and
is.
then they stay.
That's a good place to be in your business when you get to choose that too, by the way, right? Living life on your terms. That I love. Good for you guys. Yes, it just makes you stronger though, right? Those crazy Goliaths make you stronger in this business and make you more resilient in this business. So you keep pushing forward. Awesome. All right, couple things. Hope everybody's enjoying the book of the month. I don't know if anybody's got it yet. How to Own Your Own Mind, Napoleon Hill. It's a great read. It's kind of deep, super deep, man, but it's blowing my mind right now. And that's crazy, right? That's not, it's a spinoff of his Think and Grow Rich. It's pretty deep in depth. Carnegie Hall and him, Dale Carnegie and himself. It's pretty crazy. But anyways, great book of the month. Secondly, a couple of things. July's coming up. Dylan's event, Level Up, May 10th through 12th on the Big Island. Dylan, I'm going to put something out on the KV Cord to everybody in Hawaii on that. I'll post something on that so everybody gets that text. Sign up for that Level Up program coming up May 10th through 12th on the Big Island. It's a great event. You definitely want to miss this. It's been getting better every year, and he's always bringing amazing content. July 10th through 12th, Build. I put that on the Team Freedom Facebook page and also in the Google Classroom. If you guys aren't going to make it to Build, if you make any event this year and travel off the island, I'm telling you, make it to San Antonio, Texas this year, July 10th through 12th for Brent Goes Build 2023. It's an amazing event. We will all be there. It's collectively those who've been there. I've been there. Who's been to a Build? I think pretty much a lot of you guys been to Build.
Dylan has. I just booked. Yeah.
Yeah. So Shireen, like, what do you guys think every time you go to a Build? What is it like when you go to Build?
Build any Brent event, I go home and sponsor 5 people. Period. I've done it every time. So how many have I sponsored personally? 45. That tells you how many events I've been to with Brent.
Yeah, a lot. Every time you get ignited, you get infused, you get on fire, you come back because you're around the energy and synergy of the people that are thinking very similar to where you're trying to aspire to be. So I tell everybody, if you're like lacking or not have the motivation or the drive or that push or maybe even understanding it, you got to get to Build. You will see it on a whole nother level that will blow your mind out of the water. EXP has provided an amazing tool. What's up, Dylan? Say it.
Yeah, I sent this message out to our team last week, but I think it's the most important event of the year. I mean, if you can only make one, like there's lots of events to go to, but I always tell this story. If you may have heard it before, but Chris invited me when I joined EXP in 19. He invited me to the precursor Build. I don't know what he used to call it, a high level mastermind or something like that. It was before they named it Build, but it was basically Brent's event prior to, and totally changed my life. I mean, that's where the vision and the inspiration to build what we've built came from. Was that, I mean, I remember taking the notes at that event, thinking if these guys can do this, and it's, I'm seeing guys sell 500, 1,000 homes a year and stuff on these mega teams, and I'm like, we can do that in Hawaii, no problem. And that was definitely where the seeds were planted. And I look back, and that was 4 short years ago. It wasn't very long ago. So, and I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post, but we beat every single, as a team, we beat every single brokerage in our market this quarter. In the first quarter of the year, when the market is down 45%, we're up 12%, and we beat Compass, Coldwell Banker, KW, all of them. We did more units than all of them. So some of them double the amount of units. I mean, Hawaii Life was the closest. We beat them by 2. We beat Hawaii Life by two units, but some of them were like 50% of what we did. So you can do it. You just gotta be around the right people and the right energy.
Yep. And everything was stemmed by going and started as a seed that was planted when he went to the Red Rock in Vegas and saw the inspiration there, and then took Dylan, take it with his own reins and go for it, right? So everybody on this page and on this call right now has the ability to do exactly what Dylan did. Everybody. And it's not about saying even going to go recruit people. Go build your business and be amazing at your business and real estate. And look what it's shined and attracted to the level it's attracted him. So it's a twofold purpose. Justice, what were you gonna say?
I wanted to mention that, oh my God, I just had a hugest brain fart. I'm so sorry. Dylan, why do you do this to me? You say too many good stuff. It's just, I wanted to mention that. So the agency team Hawaii did more than everyone else. But imagine if you did the numbers of the entire EXP, right?
Oh yeah, you had 50 more. So like we crushed
That's
everybody.
crazy.
If you add we did 122 transactions in the first quarter, and that's not counting 50 from agents that are not on our team. So we like totally crushed everybody.
I'm done. I'm just done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, drop the microphone. Right. So EXP is making a big movement for sure. And everybody on this call is doing it. So congratulations to you guys up there in Hawaii, doing amazing. And all across the marketplaces, people are doing great from the East Coast to the West Coast, you know, and all in between. So it's remarkable to see this culture and everybody come together. I appreciate and love you guys to death. So yeah, just want to throw a couple things there. Bo Benjamin, I think we just had a birthday yesterday, Mr. Bo Benjamin. Are you there? Let's see your beautiful. Oh, there you are, buddy.
How are you doing?
How you doing? Happy birthday. What is it, 22 now? What are you, 22, 23?
Yeah, man. I'm going out to take a couple shots tonight.
Take one for all of us on the class on the meeting today. You take a shot. I hope you had a great day, brother. We love you, man. Appreciate you. Happy birthday.
Thank you,
I just want to say that. So yeah. So just a couple of I just want to make a couple announcements. The Build event, I think it's been talked about. Definitely get there. And then obviously the other ones coming up. You got the EXP convention in October. And then Dylan, you're doing another something. We're doing another something. The idea, I think, do something maybe later on towards the end of the year, like Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas.
December 1st is the next level up. So if you want to mark your calendar now and you want to get up, if you're in the cold, plan on coming out to Hawaii December 1st.
You're in the cold. That's a no-brainer. Twist my arm. Yeah. So and hopefully we can comprise of something I'd like to. I'm gonna pair with it. Maybe we can throw a really amazing Christmas party for everybody out in the EXP this year in December.
That's the plan. My wife's already working on it. We're gonna do it big in December. Yeah.
I love it. So awesome. Okay. So anybody else with some amazing news, insight, something life-changing? What's up, Patricia Case? What's up, Patty? Oh, you're muted. I love seeing your stuff on Facebook. Congratulations on all your stuff. You're still muted. Brandy, how you doing, Brandy? Good to see you, my dear. I love watching your videos too. All right. So we're going to move forward and have our amazing guest speaker today, who is one of our very own, by the way, taught by Yoda himself. I mean, Yoda being Dylan. Justice Pang. I mean, she made the 30 under 30 for NAR, which is National Association of Realtors, which is a big thing to do. So it's crazy, right? We're talking nationally here. 30 under 30. I forgot what it was like to be 30 or actually under 30. It's been such a long time. Maybe they should have like a 60 under 60. That'd be cool. Off of that one. But anyways, I just, I watched Justice vicariously through Dylan, obviously, because she's on the Big Island. And he spoke very highly of her this whole entire time. I've met her several times at several events. She is a ball of energy, the most humblest person ever. And honestly, I feel like you're the person that has the least amount of mental roadblocks. Like nothing gets in your way. I feel like you just go after it, which is a lot of problems for most of us on this call. We get these mental roadblocks that keep us in this state of paralysis. Our limiting beliefs don't allow us to go push forward and be the fullest potential we can be. I know personally, I can raise my hand right now and say it's me, where I've limited myself a lot based off of just purely looking at myself, comparing yourself to people's highlight reels, right? Our back end version against their highlight reels on Facebook. And we just really compare it, which we happens is we're not human beings. But I just love your ability that you're pure enough to see through that. You have no limiting beliefs and you just went after it. And your results have proven it. So I'm not going to talk anymore because I feel like I'm just going to do this water down. But Justice, man, I love you to death.
Let me add to the intro, Chris, before we get started.
Yes.
So just for context, you guys, and how big. I mean, NAR 30 under 30 is humongous, right? I mean, of all the 1.3 million agents in the country or whatever it is, and 88,000 in the company, there was only 3 EXP agents that made this list. So it's a humongous honor. But just to understand how numerically how she got there. In our market on the Big Island, there's 1,500 agents in the MLS. There was only 3 that did more than 60 transactions in 2022, and Justice was one of them. She did 64 individual transactions. I mean, it's bananas. And she was number 1 for buyer side transactions. So she had 43 buyer side transactions, and that's number 1 in the entire market. So, I mean, just ridiculously elite level of performance, and she's like 26, right? So there's no excuses. What Chris said is absolutely the case. I mean, she has all the mental issues everybody else does. She just doesn't let them get in the way, and it's just an action taker, doesn't overthink stuff, doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for approval, you know, and that's the kind of stuff. I mean, that's really the secret sauce. I mean, you don't need 10 years of experience and a bunch of certifications and all the BS that you tell yourself you got to do to perform at a high level. So yeah, just super stoked, so proud of Justice. So I'll turn it over. I could talk all day too. So let's turn it over to Justice.
Yeah. So just would love for you to share us your journey, Justice, kind of, you know, where you started, how you got to where you're at. Let's talk about some roadblocks, because we know you had them.
Yeah,
right?
that is
And how
very,
you
very true.
press through, and you, congratulations, buddy. So yeah, the stage is yours, my dear. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris and Dylan. I will take an intro from you guys any day, anytime. You guys rock. Not only when you talk about me, but when you talk about other people. And I know that even when I'm not around, you guys say the same stuff, because people call me and they're like, oh my God, Dylan's like raving about you. I'm like, it's you, oh my gosh. Because it's like, it's Dylan Onaka, you know? I don't know how I did anything before I joined this team or before I met him, but somehow God brought me to get a little bit of success, and then brought me to Dylan and just was like, okay, go, you know? So my real estate career began in 2019, 4 years ago. Didn't sell jack squidly my first 6 months, but I spent my entire savings, $10,000 is what I had. I was waitressing prior. Spent all that money because I didn't want to work so much. I wanted to like try to do real estate more. And I did the most. I mean, showing everyone everything. You want to go see vacant land? Let's go. Let's do it. Why am I doing that? God knows. So I was doing that for 6 months. I want to say not wasting a lot of time. Now looking back, I'm like, wow, I could use my time better, but I had to learn the hard way in a sense. So those 6 months, I did use a lot of time doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing. Learned a lot. I closed my very first deal 6 months in. I think it was January, yes, sis. My first deal was in Waikoloa. So perspective, I drive to Waikoloa, no idea where I'm at. And of course I mapped it out before. I tried, but it didn't look like how the map looked. So I was completely wrong. My buyer had to go in front of me so I could follow him to the houses because I didn't know where I was going. This is why you have to be humble and graceful, because they will humble you each and every time. Someone knows more than you everywhere you go. And he was so sweet to me. You know, he never once told me like, oh my God, am I your first client? Or, oh my gosh, like, did you sell anything before? You know, through conversation, we spoke about how new I am and stuff, but he never made me feel like I wasn't bringing anything to the table. I'm lucky I had a first client like that. I wish Julia had a first client like that, but it's okay because she's going to be a rock star from everything she learned this past time. So the client was easy, but the transaction was hard. The lender and the escrow officer really dropped the ball. And me being a brand new agent had no idea that there was a ball to drop. I thought that we just meet these deadlines and then we just, you know, at the end we get a check and I get to buy them a nice gift. So when I realized like, oh, okay, the lender like forgot to order the appraisal, that's not a big deal, is it? No, it's a huge deal, especially in 2019, 2020. It's the biggest deal ever. And so we did hit a lot of, you know, roadblocks, as Chris said. I did my first transaction cry a ton. Ivory's a witness to that. Probably like once a week I cried. But once I closed it and had that feeling of this person who was told after he got into escrow that you're not going to be a homeowner, actually ended up being a homeowner, that's what I want to do. And that's the feeling I want to have for the rest of my life, if possible. Unless I have to retire, then I have to retire. But for the rest of my life, I want to have that feeling of being around people who are reaching a goal that they thought they'd never reach. And so that developed my obsession with buyers, especially first-time home buyers. We can't discriminate. I work with everyone. But I had this obsession with first-time home buyers because they know like this much, just as I knew when I first started. I knew this much. And I said, I'm going to study everything I can to learn everything about the home buying process so that when someone comes up to me and asks me something, I have an answer for them every single time. So because I wasn't so busy and didn't have a ton of clients, I literally sat at my home office desk, had no clients, looked at my screen, and just found things to do. So Canva became my best friend. My social media ended up changing a lot. So I had a theme before, got rid of that theme, had another theme, got rid of that, and finally found my niche. So if you guys are going through something with your social media and you're like, oh, this doesn't really match my vibe anymore, archive it, delete it. Everyone saw it already, they liked it, it's gone. Delete it and start your new thing, you know? So I sit in front of Canva and I was like, hey, if I'm in front of a buyer, I don't know the buying process that well. And they ask me questions, what's like the easiest thing that I could do or give them, hand over to them so that they would know step by step in literally kindergarten format. And that's when I developed the home buying process guideline. Truly, it was more for me than the client because I had to go back to that guideline and like reference it during escrows, like, hey, wait, what comes next, you know? And so if you're brand new, which I don't know much people on here, but if you're brand new, doing a home buyer's guide would be super awesome. And Dylan guys have all the links, so I can send it to Chris and send it to you guys if you guys want to just copy it, plagiarize, whatever. Someone else used the word plagiarize. She was like, can I plagiarize this? I was like, yeah, that's what it's there for. So that was super helpful. Last year, 2022, I did 64 transactions, and it seems like a lot. It was 15 million in sales, which on the Big Island is pretty good because we don't have a lot of expensive homes, only like on the Kona side. And then now with this new market, we have some on the Hilo side. I saw we had like $1 million and plus listings in Puna. I was like, when? But I guess they're getting more expensive, so that's super cool. For anyone that's on the Big Island or in a city that has like a lower priced average, just go for it. You know, I sold any land, even if my commission was $30 because it's like a $4,500 land. And after you pay your split and all these things, those clients that I got to wow on those easy transactions rave about me. Like I have clients that tell people like, no, you need to use Justice. And I'm like, you have to stop threatening people because it's gonna get me in trouble. They don't have to do anything. And they just, you know, they're huge advocates. So take those easy transactions and just wow them like crazy so that they can be an advocate for you and, you know, be in the stores talking about you and all that stuff because referrals, as you guys know, is our best friend. Talking about roadblocks with Chris, I reach roadblocks every single day, still today. I mean, between the 30 of us, I cried like 8 times last week. But I only get to cry for like 30 to 45 seconds, okay? We open this book up here. We write our prayer in there and we move on because now it's in God's hands. Take it, do what you do with it, and it's not my problem anymore, right? So I'm happy that I learned that at a very young age. How I learned it is when in 2011, when I was in, I think what is that, the summer of 8th grade, I was going to 9th grade. I lost my brother, and it was the first time I lost an immediate family member, and he was only 20. And so my family had a really hard time getting through that. And I remember sitting in my room and I'm like, okay, like my mom's crying, you know, she's a mess. My dad's crying, everyone's a mess. I'm in my room and I'm like, how am I going to fix this? Like, how can I help my family get past something that's so crazy? And I just realized, like, you can't. We're human. There's so minimal amount of what we can do compared to what God can do. And so I completely gave everything to God. I said, no, I'm going to surrender. I'm done trying to control everything. I'm done trying to like find a way. I'm going to surrender. And I spent quite a long time only listening to, you know, music that was beneficial to what we're going through. So like worship music, Christian songs, and tried to watch what I watch and, you know, the people that I'm around. And from there, even though I strayed away a few times, you know, I definitely wasn't perfect since I was 14. But I always kind of stayed on this path, strayed away a little bit, but stayed on the path. And I still use those fundamentals today, where when you run into something, give it to something else. It can be God. It can be whatever you believe in. It can be a person. Give it to Dylan. When you run into something, text Dylan like, hey, this is what's happening today. And then once it's in Dylan's phone, it's gone. It's not your problem. It's Dylan's problem. Tell him to deal with it. But anything you believe in. Yeah. Just do that, you know, and know that we can only do so much. So this year, as Dylan said, everyone's kind of tripping out. Is it slowing down? What's happening? Dylan says it. Latasha, my sister-in-law, I don't know if she's on here. She says this all the time. We don't participate in recessions. We don't participate in anything that's not of what we believe in. And I truly believe that if you tell yourself that every day, you know, you're sick right now. Like I have probably, I don't know if it's a cold or a flu, but she needs to go. Woke up today, I'm not participating in this. My throat is not itchy. I'm gonna have some honey and we're moving on. You know, I hope I don't get anybody sick, but we have some appointments today. It's happening. Just don't participate in it, you know. So this year, 2023, so far, I found out yesterday I closed 24 transactions. We're in month 4, and I don't remember that. That was kind of crazy. I was like, 24, when did that happen? Lots of land deals. So that's fun. And it came out to be 5.2 million in sales volume, which again for the Big Island is nuts. I know that's one house on Oahu, but for me it's 24. So it's a lot of work, you know. And I'm so grateful for those transactions and for those people. That's 24 families or 24 individuals that got their lives changed so far in 2023, and I was a part of it, and that just makes me, you know, extremely happy. For 30 under 30, they called me, when was it? They called me just before they announced, like literally 3 days. Oh, wait, let me start from the beginning. So I get a call from Nicole from NAR, and she's like, hey, Justice, I've been trying to reach you. You've been nominated for 30 under 30. And I was like, you've been trying to reach me? How? Email? Like what? She's like, I emailed you 4 times. I said, no, you didn't, girl. And so I'm like going through my stuff. I'm like, girl, you did it. And then it was in my spam folder. The enemy was trying to take this from me. And had I not answered my phone that day, the next day I'm dust. If I didn't turn in my ID and all the things they needed, I would have been dust. So check your spam folder. Don't let the enemy steal anything from you. So thank God she called. I turned in all the things that I had to do. And then we did this whole, you have to vote online thing. I love the NAR, but they're not too good about giving us instructions because I was looking on that thing for instructions, you know. So the voting thing was only who can be voted number 1 for most votes. It doesn't take them any different from anyone else, the other 29 honorees. And so I didn't know that. So I'm like, okay, I need these votes. Dylan's like, it's in the bag. He's not even worried about it. No stress on him. I'm like, I know only 2,000 people, like, and those are my followers, and half of them like could be fake. I don't know what's happening, you know, like they're not even engaging with me. And so I'm like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna get all the votes, but we're gonna try, you know, we're gonna try. And my video that I asked everyone to share got 11,000 views, which I thought was super cool because I know that 90% of those views are not followers by me. So it did reach other people that didn't know who I was. And I'm sure that helped a lot with getting votes and stuff. I have some aunties that went to like baseball practices, stood in front of the bleachers and told everyone, okay, get out your phone. We're going to go to this website. So I'm sure all those moments probably made a bunch of people smile. And although I didn't win number 1, she got like 5,300 votes, number 1. I did actually make the list, which is super cool. So Nicole with the NAR called me and mentioned that one of the reasons why my application stood out was because I mentioned this words, and she kind of gave me like the exact words that I said. I mentioned, I'm not the right realtor for everyone. And because I know this, sorry, Zillow called. I didn't answer it, Dylan. I'm so sorry. I'm not the right realtor for everyone. And because I know this, I'm able to work with those that fit me best to ensure a positive experience. While handing off clients that would have a better experience with someone else, I got to, you know, better serve my clients. And so she said that everybody else in their applications were like, I'm the one you need to go to. This is my market. I know this, I know that. And I thought that was super cool that my angle that I had for it is like how Dylan says, not everything's for me. There's enough pieces of the pie for everyone. So if this client doesn't work out, close that door, open the next one, you know? Because there's so much of us, there's thousands of us, you know. If the person for me doesn't work out, maybe Ivory's the best person for them. They're gonna love her and have the best experience for her. I'm with it. Let's do it, you know. So having an abundant mindset, I think, is what got my application to kind of stand out from others. I did share my home buyers guidelines, and I shared my workshops that I do. I think because we make it 100% free and we feed them, that stood out. I also invite all other realtors if they're new and not with our brokerage, and I invite the clients that have realtors to bring their realtors. So I think she thought that was super cool. To me, I think that's pretty standard. Like anyone here within our culture, you just do that. She said it's not that way in most places, which we kind of have an idea about, but I haven't lived anywhere besides here. So it's really just what people tell me. But her perspective was, yeah, people don't do that. Like if you're putting on an event and feeding people, you're getting money from it or you're not doing it, kind of thing. Go ahead, sis. Question?
I was just wondering, so did you get the first voting spot or who did?
I didn't. Even though I didn't win the first one, I did make it as another 29 honoree like the other people.
Right. So who was the first voting one? Do we know?
She had beautiful brunette hair, a great smile, and I think her lashes were real. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. But does it say that like on the NAR thing, if we go to it, like NAR's 30 and 30, is there a number 1 spot?
Yeah.
So I can tell.
Yeah, there's like a separate thing. I saw an article about her and something on social media too.
Okay, cool. I just want to congratulate her.
Votes. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. You want to congratulate her. You should go be best friends with her.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm just joking. Chris is dying. Um, so other than the votes, they said they also look at social media, and never would I have ever thought growing up with a phone in my hand since 12 years old would have benefited me, but look what it did now, Mom. I'm good at Instagram. So and coming back to Instagram, you know, my tips on that is to be authentic, be vulnerable. You guys see the stuff I post if you follow me. I don't care. I talk about my faith, I talk about my hard days, I talk about things on sale, whatever it is. Don't just post and then leave it alone. You need to post and write back to people. I see some people on Facebook, they have like 83 comments and didn't write back to nobody. I'm like, those are 83 people that love you, like love them back, you know? So at the very least, like their comment if you can, message them. And I also like to DM them, you know, if we have something in common and I see like a funny meme and I know like, oh, I think that girl just commented on my stuff, I'll send her, like if it's about makeup and she's a makeup artist, just to start those conversations, you know. And I look at being on Instagram work. So like your phone tells you how much time you spend, on apps. And I spend an average of 3 hours on Instagram. That's 3 hours of working, Dylan. Like I'm putting in the hours. My hands hurt, my thumbs hurt, and I'm doing the most. So that's 3 hours out of the day. The other 7, you know, we're out there on the field. So they looked at my social media. I think that what they didn't tell me, but I think what they liked most about it is the authenticity. You know, it's not all about I sold this, I sold that. So if you look at people's pages and it's just so, you know, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you talk about yourself, talk about your experience with your clients. If your clients allow, it'll be nice to post them if they're okay with it, and kind of show, like I posted my clients last week, and then I saw her a few days later and she was like, oh my God, you posted me. I've never seen you post another client like since I've been following you this past month, and you posted me. And she was so happy about it. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna post more of my clients now, you know, because that was the feedback that I got. Another thing that I think got me the 30 under 30 was the reviews. So when I joined, Dylan was like, Justice, get Zillow reviews. Like he straight up was like, you need to ask for Zillow reviews. There's no reason why you have this much sales and you don't have, you know, the reviews have to match it. I'm like, dang, okay. So I sent the link to everybody, got it. I did something about Google My Business, did all that, sent it to everybody. And I think now I have like 43 reviews on Zillow, which I think I sold like 140 transactions. So 40, you know, that's not all of it, but I think 40 plus is like a good amount of reviews, because that's, you know, 40 people raving about you and took the time to write about you. So I still send the link out. Not everybody wants to do it, and that's okay. But every sale you have, especially the ones that they love you, just keep pushing them. Please write the review. If they don't write it another week later, can you please write the review, you know? And just push that, because I think that's what helped me. And then the fourth thing that I think helped me got 30 under 30 is same thing with mindset. I think you just have to be kind to everyone, you know? So like when this Nicole gal called me, of course I didn't have her number saved in my phone. Just answer the phone nicely. I can't count the amount of times I call a realtor. They don't know who I am. They're like, hello, or yo, this is Rick. I'm like, Rick, this is Justice Pang. I just want to show your property at 1 p.m. You know, like you don't know who's on the other line. So I answered it. Hey, this is Justice. How are you doing? And she's like, hey, this is Nicole from NAR. And other than that, even the other people that like come to you, clients, you know, they could have a bad day and they could have an attitude. You have no idea what someone's going through. So there's a scripture in the Bible that really, really touches me every time I come across it. It's Matthew 5:39-40. And I did the easy to read version, so we're not going to get too nuts today. It says, but I tell you, don't fight back against someone who wants to do harm to you. If they hit you on the right cheek, let them hit the other cheek too. If anyone wants to sue you in court, that's never going to happen to us. And take your shirt, let them have your coat too. So I really like this saying, because you're going to waste more time fighting people than just letting it go. You know, yeah, they hurt you. Yeah, they did something bad to you. Yeah, they took the piece of inventory that we needed for the buyer and they don't want to give it back. Are we going to go to court for that? No, I'm going to buy you a lamp and we're going to move forward. You know, you waste so much energy arguing with people, ruining relationships, burning bridges, when you could just, whether it's money or time, spend it fixing the issue, and then you can move on and everybody can be happy. You save the relationship with the other agent. You save the relationship with that seller that you don't realize they know you. They see your name on the PC. being in Hawaii, they might know your parents, your cousins, your aunties. You know, you want to make sure you're being good with everyone because your reputation is everything. And then, of course, making your buyer happy or whoever your client is. And because of that, if you're treating your enemies that good, you have to treat your friends super good, right? So I like to take care of my friends really, really good. Anytime I have the chance to do something for them, I embrace that opportunity. Sharing your knowledge is the best thing that you can share, and it's 100% free. So when a colleague or someone wants to know something, be an open book. I think that it comes back tenfold. And then my last saying that I have is, why have the world but have no one to share it with? And that's the reason why I think we have to value our relationships and love each other, because in the end, we're all we have. And I hope, to spend a long, long time with everybody that I love on the other side. So, and that's all. I hope I did good on time.
Oh, perfect. I mean, you actually have another 15 minutes, but my God, I mean, if you got stuff to say, I mean, it's amazing. I think everybody across the board in here appreciates your energy. You're definitely a very, very amazing, genuine person, Justice. And I think it's why your business does so well, right? The law of attraction, what you put out in the universe comes back to you. And you put out really good energy to everybody. It seems like even your enemies. So, which is great. You're right. And I think it's an amazing part. I love that. That's my piece too. Mindset is my huge piece, and energy is my second huge piece. Because those two things combined is what really navigates your life, right? It really does. Shireen, go for it, my dear.
Justice, thanks so much for sharing all that. You're such a rock star and such a great example for everybody. Doesn't matter what age they are. I just really appreciate you. And I was just wondering if you could kind of share, you know how you said in the very beginning, you're like, what am I going to do? And you just looked at your computer. Remember how you said that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of expand on that a little bit? Like, how did you get your little feet moving forward? How did you, what were some very specifics of what you did to go from selling nothing in your first 6 months to now a couple years later, you sold 64 homes? Can you just give a little bit of that in between time?
Yes,
What did you
absolutely.
do?
YouTube was my best friend because it was free, and I said I had no money, remember? So YouTube, everything free that was Tom Ferry, I watched. And even the videos that didn't apply to Hawaii, I watched. I forget the name of it, but I came across one video going through Tom Ferry's channel, and he was talking about first-time home buyers, and his transaction for first-time home buyers looked nothing like ours. And I knew that because I was kind of in one. So I was like, hey, this doesn't match. But if I could break it down as simple as that, I'll understand it, and everybody else I know understand it. So I took that video and I just went up in Google, and I remember writing first steps to becoming a home buyer. And I'm like a full-on licensed realtor 6 months in. First step, what the, but just be humble and know that if you don't know, you don't know it. You got to find out, right? And so I did that, and it took me to Pinterest, and then Pinterest had this roadmap. It was pretty cute too. It was like very, colorful, and I wanted to just save that and send that out, but I knew that that's not what I could do. God didn't put me here to take that and just, do bare minimum. So I was like, hey, I'm going to save it to my desktop, open it up. I opened up Canva. I don't know how I found Canva. I wish I could tell you because it's an amazing tool. I opened up Canva. She's beautiful. She can do everything in such good quality, and it's free. I just love her so much. So I opened her up. I opened up the roadmap, and I just copied it, and ended up, instead of a roadmap, doing separate pages. And I think my first home buyer's guideline was like 5 pages. Now it's like 24, but it was just 5 pages, and it was literally step 1: find a realtor. That's it for that page. Next, and then every time that I felt the urge to get creative, because you have to be in a creative state, right, to do that kind of things. Otherwise, you're just going to be going around in circles, not being too effective. Every time I feel creative, I'd open up that home buyer's guideline, and I'd, start making it pretty. I wish I had all the versions. It'd be pretty cool to watch how it, how it changed, but I always edited the same version. So I've never saved it and then made a new one, saved it. I like to delete a lot of things on top of my desktop. So besides that home buyer's guideline and the YouTube videos, Ivory and I didn't have, this is confidential between us. Ivory and I didn't have someone that we could lean on the way that we can lean on Dylan right now. And so she and I would jump on the phone and talk about nonsense, nonstop. And that nonsense ended up leading to conversations that were pillars in my career that made me a lot busier. So For example, when a new property would hit the market and we thought it was a good deal, she'd call me or I'd call her. And we'd be like, oh my God, did you see that one on 32nd? Oh yeah, I'm looking at the pictures now. And then we talk about like the private remarks. We talk about the property. Oh, let's go check it out even though we don't have a client. I'm so sorry. I didn't put it on D&D. I'm back. I'd be like, oh, let's go check it out even though like we don't have a client. And so we'd go to these houses, go to these open houses and just lean on each other's back. So like if she knew something about a property or a person, she'd share it with me. And if I knew something, I shared it with her. So it's two people knowing everything each other knows. And it really, really helped us. I think Dylan said something about like having a accountability partner. That's basically what she was for me without mentioning it. And so it was nice to like pick her brain, she picked my brain, and know even double more of what I would have known otherwise. I hope that answered your question. Those are like things that helped me. Truly, if I had to like just label it, I think that I was going around one day walking and God was like, here, and then just like hit me in the head with like all kinds of stuff. And I was like, okay. And I just took it day by day. I didn't really have a plan. And now that I'm with Dylan and have a plan, I'm honestly kind of scared, you guys. Like I sit down and I write my goals like he tells me to, and I'm planning all these things. And I truly feel like 99% I'm going to reach this goal. And it's frightening because I would have never thought that I'm going to retire by 30. You know, like I'm going to be a millionaire by 30. I don't care what comes in my way. I'm going to be a millionaire. And if I want to retire and have babies, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a whole football field of babies. And I'm just going to live this awesome life. And it's going to be great. And our team's going to grow to 5,000 million people. So
I love it, man. A football team of babies.
that's the goal.
5,000 million. I'm in it.
I'm trying to talk her out of the football team. Don't worry, I'm working on that.
I want to emphasize a couple things on that last point, right? So one of them is she kind of breezed over this, right? But Justice and Ivory were at like a flat fee brokerage. They had a very competent broker there, but it's a different model, right? You don't have like the really involved mentorship and guidance that you would get potentially in other places, and they still figured it out, right? So that didn't let that hold them back. I mean, they figured it out. They just put the work in, being resourceful, right? Just going on YouTube and figuring stuff out. But the other big thing I wrote down here, which holds so many people back, is like you try and get around people like this, and you try and then you try and learn stuff and get advice and get mentorship, and then you don't do shit. Like you just don't take any action, and that is not what Justice does. Like you heard her say multiple times, like she just listens. Like she asks for advice, you give her advice, and then she does it. Like it's not rocket science. But there's so many people who like get on a call with you, and you give them all this good information and what's worked for you, and then they go back to doing nothing or just doing what they've always done. They wonder why I don't get any results, right? It's the craziest thing to me. But just taking action, like that's all you gotta do is learn one thing and then actually implement it. And you know, like this home buyer guide, we shared it with multiple people, and there's like a handful that have actually taken any action to customize it for themselves and actually use it. And that is a perfect example of a value added thing that 90% of realtors don't provide their clients. And that's what makes a difference, is if you add a level of value that nobody else adds, then you win. It's very, very simple, but you got to put the work in, that delayed gratification, actually do the research, put the product together, create something of value, then you get to share it, and that's when it pays off. So love that. Huge takeaways. And the other thing that Justice does, which is huge, is she shares without expectation. She's mentoring 5 or 6 new agents right now. Anybody who asks for help, she helps them. And she's as busy as you can possibly be, and she'll never tell you I don't have time for you. And that is humongous. That's why God and the universe is taking care of her, because she shares, I mean, just totally selfless sharing all the time. And we don't do enough of that. So we can all learn from that.
I love it. She's like a Care Bear. Straight up.
I saw that in the comments. I was like, Missy.
Boom, a Care Bear. But you know, I want to add that too, Dylan, because people try to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to go to all these amazing events that think they're going to find some amazing new techniques to take their business to the next level. And you go back to what Justice said. Not many people are doing 0 to 64 deals. Like that's like unheard of, 0 to 64 deals. And she really, as she said, very humbly, didn't have all the skill sets, didn't have all the stuff. She wasn't like just, she wasn't in this place of it was like giving her an upper hand. So she did the work, and it was small steps. Like, yes, YouTube. If I told you, hey, go watch YouTube videos, like, no, that's not good enough. I want something more spicy. Give me something more spicy, because that doesn't help me do shit. Like, watch YouTube videos. Who's going to put the work in? watch YouTube videos. It's beneath them. It's beneath them. But the reality is now you're surpassing them because you're willing to do the small things that people will not do, that they're beyond. It's like it's beneath them, right? So keeping it simple, super simple, like seriously, super simple. And Dylan, you're right. Massive, 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 massive action. Anything done massively will result in something. It's proven in every area of your life. If you do anything massively, take action, something happens, good or bad. Good or bad.
Yep. Good or bad is a good point, Chris.
Go both ways in the spectrum. So massive action in a bad way could be detrimental. Massive action in a good way could be amazing and open up portholes of your life and your mind that you never thought was possible. That is the difference. And so you lead the way for us, Justice, because, and I don't mean this in ages, but you're like a very common person like the rest of us on this planet. You're real. You're super real. And so for anybody to think like, oh my God, I can't be Tony Robbins. Well, he's out of my spectrum. Justice, you're right here with the rest of us, and we love you for that. And you've proven that true hard work and just doing the things that people want to do, you will be successful. Man, it was amazing. Amazing.
Thank you guys so much. You're gonna stop making me cry though.
Well,
I
you're
have appointments today.
Yeah, 2 of those. You can cry today. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just enjoy though, because you know what? At the end of the day, these are celebrations that you should win and should be recognized for, because you are doing things that are above and beyond, like seriously. And it's true. Being around the right group of people. Like Dylan has an amazing energy out there in the Big Island. Shireen, you're another one. Your energy out there in Oahu. And Ronnie, you are in Kauai. Everybody has this amazing energy about themselves that they're relaying out to everybody. You guys are all Care Bears. And you're putting some shit out that people are being attracted to, and they're becoming successful overnight over it. So proximity is power. And this group is amazing. I love you guys. Like I'll start crying, man. Don't even get me.
I'm honestly convinced that like Chris, Dylan, Shireen, all y'all, you're actually brothers and sisters, and you're lying to us all. You've been growing up together your whole life. You guys are basically the same people, like your hearts, everything. Like I can't believe, and that's exactly like how God works, or like didn't want to say the universe. Like they bring these people together for a reason, and like that's another reason we have to just love each other. Like, could you imagine had we not met? What would I be doing this morning? Probably serving Korean chicken. Nah, just kidding. I'd be giving
working on
Rule
that
31
football field.
Korean chicken and fruit punch. Nah.
Take that to go. 2 orders, please. No, it's true. The universe has its way of showing up in ways that we do not understand, and nor should we challenge that. Because I can tell you the story between me and even Shireen getting this whole thing started was completely off the charts. It's completely unorthodox, and was not supposed to happen by any means. Not supposed to happen. So, but it just did, and everything lined up, and now we're here with this amazing family of people that I love you guys so much. And man, I would do anything for you guys. I'd get in a canoe right now and paddle.
Oh my God.
Maybe not a canoe, but you get what I'm saying. I would totally do it. Maybe I'd fly. For sure I'd fly. But
Chris, I have to tell you that every time I think of you, Chris, you're just in Oahu.
I know.
So you don't even live in California. You're in Oahu. You're in Mililani somewhere, or wherever, whatever kind of city. And that's just my head. So when I text you and stuff, you're on the same time as me, just so you know. So if you get that message like at 3 a.m, no, it's midnight.
I do. I'll be texting you guys all late, and it's like really early for you guys. Like, oh shoot, I can't send this out yet. The people in Hawaii are still asleep, minus Dylan.
No, it's okay. Dylan's making us all wake up at 5 a.m. Soon enough, you'll have 80 people waking up at 5.
You know what? This is on a serious note. Like I was watching Dylan saying every morning he puts out there on Instagram, Dylan, you're great for this. You guys, 5 a.m. wake up thing every morning. And I was just watching it this morning. I was thinking, God dang it, this guy is not as consistent as a fly in a window trying to get out. Like you don't stop. And that is the key to everything in success, man. Just making it a routine in your life. And you guys have been great exemplaries of that. Everybody in this call has. Just being consistent at something every day. So I love you guys for that. That's rubbing off on me to be more committed and to be consistent over doing something besides brushing my teeth every day. Got to do more than that. And this is obviously where it rolls into everybody on this call. Man, it was amazing. Anybody had some more questions for Justice? Come on, it's time to plug into her all you can. Just ask her any questions you got. Like, what's on the menu for the Korean barbecue pork? I mean, I'm hungry for lunch, but
I know the whole menu for Zippy's. 8 years I've been there. I opened up the restaurant when I was 16. They thought I was 18, and they made me work overnight. It was illegal. I couldn't
Jeez.
even drive from 11 to 5. So if anything happened, I had to call my dad to get me.
It's
Oh.
Hilo, that's why.
Yeah, it's Hilo.
It's Hilo, that's why.
Let me tell you though, it was an amazing restaurant when I was there. It really was. Like all the aunties and uncles would come, and it was such a nice atmosphere. I think that if you guys have any kids that are like thinking of getting into real estate later, go make them serve tables just while they're in high school. Because by the time they get their license for real estate, they're ready to go. They can talk to anybody because you have no choice.
Not to mention, she knows so many people because she served them too, so they can become leads and clients
Oh
later.
yeah,
My
yeah.
main
Lori
question is-
Higashi's parents.
My main question is, do you promise that you don't really care if we plagiarize, like just change our name, just change
I
the most minor
promise.
stuff?
I 100% promise.
Okay, let's copy
Nobody
it,
can
guys.
take what God put in my path, and I can't take what God put in your path. Take it.
love it.
Just forget, like, don't forget to change the name though. I forget who it was, but someone was like, "Oh, I just sent my client your home buyer's guideline." I said, "Wow, that was quick. Did you edit it?" And she's like, "No." I said, "There's all my name on there. Put your name on there, girl. What are you doing?" She's like,
Got
"Oh, I
it.
didn't know I could." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, take me off. Put you guys on. What I would do is take the whole thing and like, oh, you don't
Duplicate.
have access to the Canva, but take the whole thing and like just retype it, and you won't miss because my name's like all over that thing.
Well, yeah, you can put it into like a Google Doc, right? You can put it into Google Doc and reformat it that way too.
Yeah, yeah. Dylan, do you have access to like a Team Freedom Big email? Because I don't have one. Could you send it or ask Monica to send it to them? You're muted, my friend.
Really, brother.
Chris can, and I'll put a link to the Canva
Somebody-
in here. You can
Oh,
if you
right
have
on, right on.
if you have
Yay.
if you have Canva, you can just make a copy of it, and then you can edit it. You kind of edit this version. So
Nice,
So I'll
nice.
put that I'll put that in Team Freedom Google the drive, so everybody has that, and the stream. For those who aren't familiar with the Google.
So two assignments to end this, right? The first one is make your buyer guide. The second one, this is mind blowing. But Kelly on our team had her VA go and subscribe to 40 of the top agents in our market email lists, right, on their websites. And how many of you guys are guilty of this, right? Don't you feel very guilty right now? Guess how many of them we got any type of response from?
Half.
One.
Oh, wow.
One.
Wow.
Okay. So when you collect an email address for whatever way you collect it, online lead generation, put it into KV Core, whatever it is, what happens at that point? If the answer is nothing, you're doing something wrong, right? Like, I mean, you can beat 40 of the top agents by just having an automated responder that goes out and then having some type of drip campaign that follows up with them. But that's how bad our competition is. It's not hard to crush people because they're just really bad, so you just got to take action. I mean, it's like, if you don't suck, I tell everybody, the secret to success is not sucking. In real estate, 80% of agents suck. So if you just don't suck, you're in the top 20% right off the top. Like, it's not easy. But that's the kind of stuff, you guys, like, I mean, 40 of the top producers, I mean, yes, they're doing something right, but they're like totally missing the ball. If we subscribe to your email address, I better get something from you like on the weekly, right? At least. So easy. It's like the easiest thing you could possibly do.
Wow,
I like
that's
it.
crazy.
It is
Crazy.
one. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That was a prereq, when I called Dylan to join, the prereq was, "Oh, you can't suck." And me and I were like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's it. Just don't suck." I'm like, "Cool. Where do I sign up?"
You don't suck, nigga. So that's gonna be the title of this video by this class. Don't be part of the 80% because you suck.
Ooh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Justice, thank you again. Appreciate your humble spirit and your love for just everybody. I feel like it's very encouraging. And your production, everything has proven it to be worthy. And again, it is definitely something that we can all aspire to continue work. And it's basic stuff. So anybody on this call that thinks they can't get to the next level, shame on you, because it really isn't some crazy over the top like homework you got to do. It's basic stuff, and just apply it consistently, time over time. So thank you again, Justice. You're amazing. Hope you feel better. Hope
Thank you.
You're not gonna be part of that little sickness. You're not gonna be part of that. And we appreciate everything. And I'll take that camp thing, put it on the stream, and then put it on the link as well. So awesome, everybody. Anybody got any further thoughts, final thoughts before we end this for Justice? No? Going once? Go, Roddy? Go for it real quick. What do you got? Got about a minute. You're muted, buddy. Somehow you're muted. Are you muted? I don't hear him.
Okay, I'll go really quick. Don't be mad, sis, but what's the best format to send that to them in? Just in an email with a link or
So
a PDF?
when you're in Canva and you download, there's an option for PDF, but it also says best for emailing. And then there's another one that says best for printing. So always do the best for emailing. And then if your clients have iPhones, which gold star if they do, I also like to text it because it does look great in text also.
And if
as
they
a
don't,
PPT.
they're part of the 80%, but that's okay, Dylan. We still love you.
Oh, can I mention one more thing? So I'm
for
on a group message with the 30 under 30, and we all have iPhones. And so we get to send, I said, I'm so happy we all have iPhones. And I sent them a GIF and like a picture of me. And I just thought about Dylan and I just started laughing. I was dying.
Talk about the future of
Once you
real
go back,
estate
that's right. Once you go
there.
back, you don't go back.
Oh, I like that, Chris. That's going to be my note.
That's
Serene.
amazing.
Serene wrote that. Serene wrote, once you go back, you don't go back. I love it. Ronnie, for some reason, you're muted, buddy. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go for it.
So, Justice, in RMLS, between the two islands, we're number 2 in volume. We're, I think, about 9 million below Hawaii Life. So if you could just up your price point in your sales, I know you could help us get over the top.
Dylan's working on it. I'm actually driving to Kona today and I'm so scared. I'm showing so they want to sell their condo and spend 1.5. And I'm this close to canceling the appointment because I don't know what a condo is. Who is CPR and what's a leasehold? God knows. I do single family homes on the east side. That's $300,000. So Ronnie, I'm trying. Just pray for me.
There is no
Hey, you
try.
guys.
You make it happen.
You
Thank
guys,
you, Ronnie.
hey,
Absolutely.
just a little tidbit for all of you here in Hawaii. Hawaii Life, there's a really easy way for us to change those numbers. Hawaii Life, even if they are the top producers, they are on a 25-75 split and they get nothing for that. You guys.
Wow.
Let's just
Wow.
go get them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
it. I like how you're
And the only reason they're there is they bought Windermere and they bought what was the other one? They basically bought 2 brokers last year to add their numbers, right? So that's not organic growth. So
So
Well,
go get them.
We're
Dylan,
moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, you grew the numbers. Hawaii Life in the first quarter of 2022 on Kauai did 280 million the first quarter. This year in the first quarter, they did 36 million.
Whoa. Whoa.
that's crazy.
Whoa. Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy. That's a big drop. Okay.
So you're
Well, I mean-
telling me, Ronnie, that I can't buy anything for 20,000 in Kauai?
Why do you
It's
think I
basically what
send so many referrals to Dylan and his team? I hear what they want. It's they want to walk to the ocean, 2 bedrooms, vacation rental, etc. What's your budget? 250 to 300,000. Yeah, okay.
Go to the Big Island.
Give him a cardboard
That's
box.
awesome.
A cardboard box is mobile. You can put it anywhere by the ocean.
Yeah.
Waterproof. Awesome. All right, guys.
Really quick, Chris, I'm so sorry to keep you guys. Dylan,
Right.
I just wanted to mention, I hope it's okay with you. Next week, Thursday, we're doing kind of an agent attraction thing in Hilo. So all of you guys that are not on the Big Island, if you have a lead that wants to join our team in Hilo, I'm sure it's okay with Dylan if you invite them.
Yep, absolutely. We're doing a similar presentation in Hilo at our Hilo office. So if you got anybody that's on the hook that wants to learn more about EXP and how to succeed, let us know. We'll invite them.
And we'll have Asami's good food.
Dang.
Can you send a link or something about that event? Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Awesome. And to add to that one, Thursday, EXP Explained. Every Thursday, guys, 8, 11, and 2. So it's here. So also as an addition piece for you guys. Want to shove people there? It's there. So, all right, you guys have an amazing week. I love you all. Justice, you're amazing. Dylan, you guys are. I love you guys.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
Go crush it.
Thank
And I'll see you guys next week. Awesome.
Good job. Thanks, Chris.